The untold story of Confucius script. Let's travel back in time and unravel the tale of one of the most influential figures in ancient China who rose in the 5th century BCE. Hang on tight because we're about to delve into the life of Confucius, a symbolic figure who is celebrated across all cultures. Confucius, often called Master Kong in China, was a profound thinker from ancient times. His ideas shaped the essence of East Asian societies, creating a legacy that endures. Despite such a profound impact, it is ironic that very little is known about him. Many people wonder about the reality of Confucius. Was he just a philosopher or something beyond that? How did he leave such an extraordinary influence? What fueled his wisdom? And why is he still a captivating figure today? In today's video, we're going to travel back in time and take a look at the life and wisdom of Confucius, peeling back the layers of history to understand his journey and the timeless impact of his teachings. Brace up as we are going to answer all your questions about the real-life story. So, without keeping you waiting, let's dive right into the story of Confucius. Birth and early life of Confucius. Confucius was born during the concluding years of the Spring and Autumn period, 770–481 BCE. His birthplace was Lu, a regional state in eastern China, now situated in central and southwestern Shandong province. During that time, Lu, like other regional states, was closely tied to the imperial court of the Zhou Dynasty, 1045–221 BCE. This connection was established through a shared history, cultural bonds, familial connections extending back to the dynasty's foundation, and moral responsibilities. Historical records narrate that Confucius's early ancestors were known as the Kongs, originating from the state of Song. This distinguished family had produced several respected advisors for the Song rulers. However, by the mid-7th century BCE, the Kong family had experienced a decline in political influence and lost a significant portion of its wealth. Confucius's great-grandfather, among others, decided to relocate to the state of Lu during this period. This move marked a turning point for Confucius's family, moving from a once prominent position to adapting to new circumstances in Lu. The Kongs of Lu, who once enjoyed their hereditary entitlements in Song, were now common gentlemen, eshi, with a different set of circumstances. In the late Zhou dynasty, common gentlemen, despite their employability in the army or various administrative roles due to their education in the 6 arts including ritual, music, archery, charioteering, writing, and arithmetic, held a position just slightly higher than the common folks in the social hierarchy. Like other gentlemen, Confucius's father, Shu Liang. He had been a warrior and served as a district steward in Lu, but by the time Confucius came into the world, Shu Liang, he was already an elderly man. Before Confucius, Shu Liang. He had 9 daughters and a son with a club foot from a previous marriage. However, it was with Confucius that he finally welcomed a healthy heir. Unfortunately, Shu Liang. He passed away shortly after Confucius's birth, leaving his young widow to look after the kids. Confucius's early life took place during a time of social changes and personal hardships. These experiences were crucial in molding him into the revered philosopher he would later become. Early education and personal life. Confucius, despite his family's shift in social standing, received his education at schools meant for commoners. These schools focused on imparting knowledge in the 6 arts, which included rituals, music, archery, charioteering, writing, and arithmetic. Despite the challenges his family faced, Confucius immersed himself in the pursuit of knowledge, laying the groundwork for the wisdom that would later shape East Asian thought. At the young age of 19, Confucius took a significant step in his personal life by marrying Lady Qiguan, Qiguanxi. Just a year after tying the knot, the couple welcomed their first child into the world, a son named Kong Li. As their family grew, Qiguan and Confucius were blessed with 2 daughters. Tragically, one of the daughters is believed to have passed away in childhood, while the other was named Kongjiao. At the same time, Confucius entered the world as a member of the Shi class, positioned between the aristocracy and the common people. In his early 20s, he took on diverse roles, working in various government positions. Alongside government service, he took on jobs as a bookkeeper and even cared for sheep and horses. At the age of 23, Confucius faced another setback when his mother died. However, driven by filial piety, he used his earnings to ensure a proper burial for his mother, a gesture reflecting his deep sense of duty and respect. He is also said to have observed the traditional mourning period of 3 years. This marked a poignant time in Confucius's life, highlighting not only his commitment to family, but also his adherence to cultural traditions. Foray into the political world. Confucius, ever candid about his humble background, acknowledged the challenges he faced due to his poor and lowly status. Given the societal dynamics, he realized that entering government service wasn't as straightforward for him as it was for young men from more prominent families. Consequently, he delved into a variety of practical skills, describing himself as having become skilled in many menial things. His journey into government service began with employment under the Jisun clan, a hereditary family with a long-standing history of serving as chief counselors to Lu's rulers. Starting with modest roles like keeper of granaries and livestock, and later as a district officer in the family's feudal domain, Confucius gradually climbed the ranks. He held key positions in the Lu government, serving first as Minister of Works and then as Minister of Crime. While in the role of Minister of Crime, Confucius demonstrated effectiveness in handling law and order issues. However, his true prowess shone in diplomatic assignments. He exhibited exceptional foresight, ensuring both the ruler and their mission were well prepared for unforeseen circumstances and potential threats. Confucius also possessed a knack for offering advice that led to successful negotiations. Despite his capabilities, he faced a formidable challenge, a prolonged struggle with hereditary families aiming to seize power from the legitimate rulers of Lu. In the complicated political landscape of Confucius's time, the state of Lu was dominated by a ruling ducal house, beneath which 3 aristocratic families held hereditary positions. The Ji family, known for their role as minister over the masses, faced a rebellion in 505 BCE led by Yang Hu, a retainer of the Ji family. Although initially successful, the 3 hereditary families, including the Ji family, managed to expel Yang Hu by the summer of 501 BCE. In the midst of these political upheavals, Confucius, through his teachings, gained considerable reputation. Recognizing the value of proper conduct and righteousness advocated by Confucius, the hereditary families appointed him as the governor of a town in 501 BCE. As he rose to the position of Minister of Crime, Confucius faced internal struggles and a desire to dismantle the fortifications of the city, establishing a centralized government. In 498 BCE, Confucius, through diplomatic efforts, succeeded in convincing the Shu family to raise the walls of Ho. However, subsequent events unfolded as Gongshan Furao, a retainer of the Ji family, revolted and took control of forces at Bi. Gongshan's invasion of Lu's capital forced Confucius to make difficult choices. Although approached by Gongshan to join the rebellion, Confucius, true to his principles, rejected violence as a means of change. Following a failed attempt to dismantle the fortified city walls, Confucius faced powerful enemies within the state, particularly Viscount Ji Huan. In 497 BCE, after supporting the unsuccessful efforts against the Ji, Meng, and Shu families, Confucius left Lu in self-exile. His departure marked the end of his political influence in Lu, and he remained unable to return as long as Viscount Ji Huan was alive. The events encapsulated Confucius's political challenges and unwavering commitment to ethical governance. This period marked a critical juncture in Confucius's life, showcasing his dedication to principles and the price he paid for his unwavering commitment. Exile. In the midst of Confucius's involvement in the government of the Lu state, the neighboring Qi state grew concerned about Lu's increasing power. To undermine Lu's reforms, Qi sent an intriguing gift, a lavish offering of 100 fine horses and 80 beautiful dancing girls to the Duke of Lu. The Duke, indulging in the pleasures brought by this gift, neglected his official duties for 3 days. Disheartened by this display, Confucius contemplated leaving Lu to seek better opportunities. However, Confucius faced a dilemma. Leaving immediately would expose the Duke's misbehavior, causing public humiliation for the ruler he was serving. Ever tactful, Confucius chose to wait for a lesser mistake. It wasn't long before the Duke overlooked sending Confucius his due portion of sacrificial meat, a customary gesture. Seizing upon this pretext, Confucius decided to resign from both his post and the Lu state. Following his resignation, Confucius embarked on a journey across the principality states of northeast and central China, including Wei, Song, Zheng, Chao, Chu, Qi, Chen, and Kai, with a failed attempt to go to Jin. At the courts of these states, he shared his political beliefs, but found little success in seeing them implemented. Confucius's travels marked a period of spreading his teachings, even though the practical application of his political ideals remained elusive. The period of exile. The path of self-exile led Confucius on a prolonged journey spanning 14 years, traversing the states of Wei, Song, Chen, and Kai. His quest was driven by a steadfast desire to find rulers receptive to his influence, individuals willing to be guided by his vision of virtuous governance. Despite the passage of time and the ultimate futility of his search, Confucius remained unwavering in his hope for someone to put me to use. Even in the face of criticism, his 3 or 4 disciples accompanied him on this exile and his quest for a virtuous ruler. Confucius's disciples, notably younger than him, came from diverse backgrounds. Sons of aristocrats, offspring of common gentlemen, merchants, farmers, artisans, and even those with criminal ties were drawn to him, seeking to acquire skills that could propel them into an official career. Confucius, in his role as the master, Zi, attracted followers who identified as his disciples or apprentices. 2. Among these disciples, 3 notable figures emerged: Zigong, Zilu, and Yan Hui. Zigong, a former merchant turned disciple, impressed Confucius with his articulate nature, shrewdness, and quick thinking. Confucius saw in him the potential for a diplomat or financial manager and valued their exchanges on a wide range of topics, from the world and its people to poetry and ritual practices. In contrast, Zilu possessed a rough and rustic demeanor. Confucius recognized Zilu's unwavering loyalty, acknowledging that he would go to great lengths, even wrestling a tiger or navigating the open sea on a bamboo raft to protect him. However, Confucius believed that mere bravery and loyalty were insufficient for true goodness. He emphasized the importance of thought and a love for learning, asserting that without these, people could easily veer onto perilous paths. Despite Zilu's rough exterior, Confucius appreciated his reliability, and his ability to bring legal disputes to a conclusion by presenting a one-sided argument. Confucius accepted Zilu into his circle, recognizing the value of his steadfastness and practical skills. He embraced a diverse array of disciples, welcoming anyone eager to learn and unwilling to give up when faced with challenging problems. In return for his teachings, Confucius expected nothing more than a humble gift, a bundle of dried meat, as a token of gratitude. Even the modest gift of a bundle of dried meat was likely beyond the means of Yan Hui, another dedicated disciple of Confucius. Hailing from a humble background, Yan Hui found contentment in a frugal existence, living in a shabby neighborhood, on a bowl full of millet and a ladle full of water. Unfazed by hardship or privation, Yan Hui's love for learning and his unwavering desire to understand the concept of the good remained undiminished. Yan Hui held a special place in Confucius's heart and was regarded as the sage's favorite disciple. Tragically, Yan Hui's life was cut short, leaving Confucius in profound grief. When questioned by other disciples about the appropriateness of his emotional display, Confucius responded with poignant clarity, "If not for this man, for whom should I show so much sorrow?" These three disciples, Zigong, Zilu, and Yan Hui, stood by Confucius on his arduous journey into the unknown. In making this commitment, they not only left behind their homes and families, but also forfeited lucrative career opportunities in Lu. Their first stop on the journey was the state of Wei, where Zilu had relatives who could potentially introduce Confucius to the ruler. There were influential figures in the ruler's service who knew of Confucius's reputation and were willing to assist him. However, despite these connections, Confucius faced challenges in securing a job. Part of the issue was Confucius himself. He was reluctant to pursue paths that might lead to trouble rather than aid. Moreover, the ruler of Wei was not actively seeking capable advisors, as he had plenty of distractions with conflicts in neighboring states and domestic issues in Wei. Undeterred, Confucius displayed patience, waiting for 4 years before finally being granted an audience. However, the meeting proved disappointing, confirming Confucius's preconceptions about the ruler's character and judgment. Shortly after, the ruler passed away, prompting Confucius to decide that there was no longer a reason to stay in Wei. Thus, he and his disciples headed south. On the journey to the state of Chen, their next destination, 2 incidents nearly threatened Confucius's life. In one, a military officer named Huan Tui attempted to ambush Confucius as he passed through the state of Song. In another, he found himself surrounded by a threatening mob in the town of Kuang, with the possibility of imminent harm. These incidents were not random, but were orchestrated by Confucius's adversaries. The reasons for these attempts on his life remain unclear, with historians speculating about potential causes and resolutions. In the face of danger, Confucius's words, as recorded in the Analects, reflect his unwavering confidence. Upon learning of Huan Tui's plan to ambush him, he asserted, "Heaven has given me this power, this virtue. What can Huan Tui do to me?" Analects 723. During the siege in Kuang, Confucius expressed even greater certainty that heaven would protect him. Claiming that the cultural legacy of the Zhou dynasty was vested in him, he declared, "What can the people of Kuang do to me?" This resolute confidence in his mission and the divine protection of cultural heritage defined Confucius's response to these life-threatening situations. Confucius, undeterred by challenges, pressed on with his journey, reaching the state of Chen, where he spent 3 uneventful years. A major war between Chen and a neighboring state prompted him to venture westward toward Chu, unaware that a different trial awaited him. As provisions dwindled, his followers grew so weak that none could rise on their feet. Analects 15:2. Though historical records provide only a brief account, later writers speculated about Confucius's demeanor and interactions in this dire situation. These imaginative tales, while lacking verifiable authenticity, humanized the characters and filled the gaps in historical sources. Confucius and his companions halted at a Chu border town, deciding to backtrack to Chen and then Wei. The journey spanned over 3 years, with Confucius spending an additional 2 years in Wei. During this time, 2 disciples, Zigong and Ran Qiu, opted to part ways with Confucius and secure positions in Lu's government. Zigong excelled in diplomacy, while Ran Qiu showcased his skills in warfare. Likely, it was their initiative to approach Lu's ruler and chief counselor, proposing a generous offer to entice Confucius back. Their plan succeeded. In the 11th year of Duke Ai's reign in Lu, 484 BCE, a summons arrived from the Duke, accompanied by a substantial gift. In response, Confucius returned home, marking a pivotal moment in his journey. Return Zuozhuan records that he returned to his native Lu at the age of 68. Upon his return, Confucius didn't actively pursue a position within the Lu government, as it was not necessary. The ruler and his counselors esteemed him as the state's elder, Guolao. They sought his advice directly or used his disciples as intermediaries. The growing number of disciples further solidified his reputation as a mentor, capable of preparing young men for political careers. However, those initially drawn to him for career guidance often found themselves delving into broader philosophical questions. Inquiries about virtue, the moral prerequisites for government service, and the nuances of phrases like keen perception and clouded judgment became common. Others sought guidance on pursuing knowledge and understanding complex texts for insights. Confucius, in his role as a teacher, tailored his responses to the temperament of each student, leading to some confusion among the disciples when comparing notes. This teaching approach aligned with Confucius's belief in the teacher's role, pointing out one corner of a square, leaving it to the students to discover the other 3. Teaching, according to Confucius, meant imparting light, hui, offering guidance and motivating students to persist even when tired and dispirited, preventing them from giving up. Confucius described himself as the kind of man who forgets to eat when engrossed in problem-solving and finds joy that eclipses worries, remaining oblivious to the onset of old age. Confucius adhered to a unique approach in his role as a teacher. Unlike charging tuition fees, he requested only a symbolic gift, a bundle of dried meat from potential students. According to his disciple Zigong, Confucius treated students akin to how doctors treated patients, welcoming anyone without turning them away. His teaching endeavors extended beyond the confines of his home state, Lu, attracting 43 students from there. Moreover, Confucius opened his doors to learners from various regions across China, including 6 from Wei, like Zigong, 3 from Qin, 2 each from Chen and Qi, and 1 each from Kai, Chu, and Song. In Confucius's inclusive view, a student's personal background held no relevance. Noblemen, commoners, and even individuals with a history of crime, such as Yan Zhuoju and Gong Yichang, found a place in his circle. While disciples from wealthier families made ritual donations commensurate with their financial status, Confucius's commitment to imparting knowledge transcended social distinctions. However, the latter years of Confucius's life were not without sorrow. Burdened by the losses of both his son and favorite disciples, he faced the inevitable passage of time. In the embrace of old age, Confucius passed away at the age of 71 or 72, succumbing to the natural course of life. His final resting place, Konglin Cemetery, lies in the historical part of Khufu in the Shandong province. The original tomb erected in his memory on the bank of the Sishui River had a distinctive shape resembling an axe. Additionally, it featured a raised brick platform at the front, a symbolic space for offerings such as sandalwood, incense, and fruit. Confucius's legacy endures not only in the wisdom he imparted, but also in the tranquil setting of his final resting place, a testament to the profound impact he left on Chinese philosophy and culture. Teachings of Confucius and his unique teachings continue to enlighten people till date. Confucius believed that following proper conduct, encapsulated in rituals, li, could bring stability to an individual and provide a foundation for a well-ordered government. He emphasized that these practices should commence within the family. His ideas later turned into a philosophy called Confucianism. His philosophy emphasized the importance of treating others with kindness and compassion to promote harmonious relationships and a sense of empathy in human interactions. Good manners and daily rituals were seen by Confucius as essential for creating a stable and orderly society. Following these practices contributes to a sense of social harmony and respect for traditions. He also stressed the significance of personal morality and ethical conduct. He believed that individuals should cultivate virtuous qualities to contribute positively to society. His philosophy advocated for strong family bonds and the importance of respecting one's ancestors, recognizing their contributions to one's existence. He also highlighted virtues such as integrity, righteousness, altruism, goodness, and loyalty as essential characteristics of an exemplary person. These qualities were seen as a foundation for ethical and responsible living. Confucius also supported the idea of a strong and organized central government. He believed that a well-structured government was crucial for maintaining order, stability, and the well-being of the people. His teachings became a significant part of Chinese culture, especially during the Han Dynasty, where they shaped government exams and policies. The government favored Confucianism because it stressed respect for authority and supported a strong central government. For over 2,000 years, Confucius' teachings remained influential in Chinese culture and governance, even being integrated into civil service exams until the 20th century. His philosophy deeply impacted Chinese society, emphasizing respect, ethical behavior, and the importance of a well-ordered society led by a capable government. Popular media. Confucius has been featured in various forms of popular media, showcasing his influence and enduring legacy. Numerous books and novels explore Confucius and his philosophy, either through historical accounts or fictionalized narratives. Many researchers and enthusiasts have also made documentaries to explore Confucius and his impact on Chinese culture, philosophy, and history. Confucius's quotes are also shared widely on social media platforms, often accompanied by modern interpretations. Modern-day biographical drama films like The Confucian Dream and Confucius have also been produced depicting the life and teachings of Confucius. His presence in popular media reflects the ongoing fascination with his teachings and their significance in understanding Chinese culture and philosophy. Whether through traditional storytelling or modern adaptations, Confucius continues to be a prominent figure in various forms of entertainment and education. Here comes the end of the story of Confucius. What do you think of his real-life story? Share your valuable thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and family who are enthusiastic about Confucius and would love to know more about his life. If you liked our content, smash the like button and hit the subscribe button to get a daily dose of such interesting stories of real-life people. We will see you in another interesting video.